Doyle shoots and scores! Colin Doyle gets the Rock on the board in the first minute.
Going into the playoffs, obviously the team didn't have the finish to the season that they were looking for going into the playoffs, but what's the general atmosphere, I guess, and attitude around the team going into the playoffs?
Definitely not what we wanted down the stretch, but I think you just kind of clean the slate and say we finished 10-6. It's a pretty solid record, all things considered, with how tight the league is, and we've locked ourselves in for a home game and maybe even more if we get any breaks. So it is what it is. It's done with. This is a new season. I'm sure we're going to see a completely new Rochester team, so we've got to be prepared for that, and we've got to make sure that we can get back working and firing on all cylinders like we were before our break.
Now, with 3 wins in the regular season against Rochester, you do say that it's going to be a completely different team, but does that give you any kind of an edge going into this game?
I don't think so. I think maybe had we beaten them 3 times in the last month, you could say it would hold some sway over things. But at this point, I think they were a team that had a lot of turnover and probably spent the first few months trying to find themselves, and it seems with their record as of late that they have. So I suspect it'll be a different team. They seem to have a lot of cohesiveness and a lot of things going for them. So I would say that 3-0 record goes out the window, and we start from scratch here in the playoffs.
All right, and then you talked about the home game as well. Maybe just talk a little bit about the playoff atmosphere in Toronto and what a difference that the fans can make in a home playoff game.
Well, it'll mean a lot to us because lacrosse is a game of runs, and if you're at home and you go on one of those runs, you can certainly make it a lot tougher for the other team to have that will to come back. And we experienced that firsthand last year at home when we beat the Bandits and went on our little run, and really we fed off our fans. And then on the other end of things, when Washington beat us in the final game, and we just couldn't seem to get our feet going after they went on their little run and the crowd got behind them. So in this league, in a one-game-take-all format, the fans can play a huge role in how the game turns out, and we just got to be sure to give them lots to cheer about early and get them into the game early.
Doyle shoots and scores! Colin Doyle gets the Rock on the board in the first minute.